Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. Today we're going to be working on these little apple seedlings. Alright, so it's midwinter right now, and these little seedlings right here, as well as this ones, and this giant one, which is probably about 2.5 feet each right here, were actually planted last winter, and so therefore they're about a year old. Now all of these were actually planted on this little pot right here, and I'm going to be showing you a picture of the before when they started sprouting. So when they were all planted in this little pot, I was meaning to put them apart and then put them on separate containers. I had a total of 4 of these containers, but 2 of them didn't give, and then I just decided to just keep 2 in this little container. So as you can see, they were pretty much left alone throughout the whole entire year, and some grass started growing from the bottom, and therefore I didn't really do any soil changes, and that's why there's like so shallow in there, which I believe that that's the only reason why this ones, in comparison to these right here, they're actually thinner and smaller. Now why do I tell you this? It's because the reason I think is that they actually smaller is like pretty much the rule of every single bonsai. The more shallow and smaller containers you put them in, the slower they grow. So the bigger the container, faster and thicker the trees will grow. So if you want to actually minimize the leaf size and the growth of the tree, then you can go ahead and leave them in small containers. With that being said, we're actually going to be working on each one individually. I'm probably going to repot this one over here and then try to come up with some styles for this too right here. Now, focusing on a single one, I'll put this one to the side. So with that, we're going to be using one of my favorite gifts from all time, which is actually my bonsai starter kit. This kit was actually purchased by my wife as a gift, but I do actually have some of my other bonsai tools over here, and we're just going to be using a mixture of both. This kit right here is actually purchased on Amazon, and if you are interested in a similar kit to this, I'm going to be leaving some links below, and also like a little review of how these tools work in comparison to actual Japanese bonsai tools. So with that being said, we're just going to go ahead and grab some thick wire branch cutters, these ones over here, and we're just going to do the first cut. When it comes to working on the trees, you actually just want to go ahead and do it, not think about it too much, and then after that just start working on it. If you think too much about like working with certain branches, you're gonna just end up like cutting the wrong one, and you're not gonna be able to actually express yourself as much because of the fear of cutting some branches. So just have something in mind and then just go for it, or work as you go. So this one right here, I'm actually just planning on cutting right about this length over here, and just right like that you have this dramatic change. I'm leaving about an inch so that I can allow for some dieback, but as you can see, we already have all of these branches over here like that. Now the bottom of the trunk starts about right here, so that's the Nabari, and then we have these other branches that follow. What I could do is pretty much cut off these ones over here or right here, but what I was actually thinking about doing is either leave them all and just using some wire to just guide them towards the side and just having it open and have them like a little shohin bonsai. Thinking about it, that's actually going to be one of the best ideas for this tree. I'm just going to go ahead and leave this stem off, and I'm probably going to prune back just a little bit above where some buds are, so that we can allow some new growth and also splitting of the branches. And then as the tree continues to grow, we're just going to be snipping off the canopy, and that's going to allow for a little round shape tree. For this one, we're going to be using the shear cutters, and like I said, we want to leave about 2 to 3 buds so that we can allow for ramification. And right here, I'm going to be counting 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to snap off right there, and I'm just going to snap off a little bit above where the bud would be coming out, just to allow dieback on each branch. Same thing over here. This one's a little bit taller, so that's totally fine. That's going to be the apex, and the other ones are going to be the lower branches. So the next procedure will actually just, get some wire this down just a little bit, and then continue the separation of each one of them. So we're going to use the wire. We had already measured. And this one is going to go downwards. And every time you wire a branch, you want to avoid getting too close to the buds, and you want to wire in a 95-degree angle. Because if you wire straight across the branch, you're actually going to strangle the branch and you're going to cause it to die. And the perfect time to be doing this right now is actually before the spring starts, because if you cut in the early spring or late spring, you're going to actually be cutting off potential branches that can grow and actually produce fruit. Alright, so coming back to the bottom, and use this one over here, and we're going to do the same exact thing. This little tree right here would actually make a great Shohin bonsai. And I'm actually thinking that one of the pots that I made in my class would actually be a great pot for this little tree. And if you're not sure about what pots I'm actually talking about, I'm also going to be providing another link below to some pots that I made in class. Right there. So we have a nice separation between branches. So I'm actually going to leave it as is, because I don't want to produce any more damage to the tree. But as soon as new branches start coming out, I'm just going to be cutting back down, and I'm going to have it on a nice little small shape to it. So that's it for this one over here. Whew, got some nasty leaves. I'm going to go ahead and put this to the side. Alright, so what do we have here? This one is also about a finger thick in diameter, but in order for me to actually see that better, I'm just going to go ahead and cut off the top like we did with the other one. That'll be right about there. So now that we don't have too much obstructing the view, we can actually have a more clear vision of what we can be doing with this little tree. And this one, although it's not like a Japanese maple or anything, just from this direction over here, I kind of want to treat it as if it was. I kind of want to just cut back over here and then just bring this down, as well as this one, and just have this one become the new apex and treat it like a Japanese maple. So it'll be growing kind of like in this type of shape. So I think that's actually what I'm going to go for. This will become a new leader branch, and then this ones right here are going to be my bottom branches, which will be them branching off to the side. So once again, we're going to go right here. I'm actually going to cut back probably about to right here, because I have a few buds in this direction. And then you want to go from the bottom to the top to figure out the length of each branch, like so. So this one right here would actually probably be about right here as well. And then this one should definitely be shorter, so right about here. So this is actually what I have right here. This one I'm actually going to be just wiring it to the side so that I can actually keep it straight. That, I'm going to be just using one of my scrap wire that I have. Okay, cool. So now that one's going to be the main leader, and then this one's, I'm just going to guide them towards the sides, like so. So the funny thing is that he's all covered in catnip. so that my cat wouldn't rub himself in the actual tripod. My wife decided to put some catnip on his little toy, and now he's just all acting weird, and hopefully that takes him away from rubbing on the tripod. But getting back to this, we're gonna be leaving this little sucker. I'm not sure if you can see it right over here. We're gonna leave it there just to see if it can try to thicken the trunk just a bit, and we're gonna be wiring these 2 branches over here. Like so. This side is going to bring, alright, give a little shape to the branch, and then go to the next one. I do have a turntable, so I do have a lacing Susan, so I don't know why I'm not using it, but regardless, we're already here. It's gonna go just little by little, bend it down, facing towards the top. This one will actually come out this way. Once again, avoiding strangling the buds. That way we can have more growth. Now if we look at the movement of the trunk, we can see that it goes in this direction, and I want to just sort of follow that towards the top, like so. Alright, so here's something that I'm going to say, and I'm going to sip on the tea. Alright, so many of you may actually say that, John, why are you using this type of wire? Or you might actually criticize some other YouTubers, or some other people that enjoy the whole bonsai experience, and they try to use the tools that they have and not the tools that are actually recommended. But then again, they pretty much get the same exact result as someone that has been experienced and they use the correct tools. And like I would say, don't judge what people use to create the products that they have. And I apologize for my cat continuing to mess with the tripod. But some people just use whatever they have. Now let's say, for example, this right here is actually copper wire, but it is actually electrical wire that has been recycled from a previous demo. So what I'm going to be using is this, and if people are going to criticize what I'm using, then that's totally fine. But then again, we're all in this together. We're all trying to figure out a way to come up with almost the same result. So if you see other people using different tools, using different wire methods or different wires, don't judge them. They're using what they have. Alright, so I want to go ahead and actually cut off the branch that was growing in this direction over here. So now this one is going to be growing towards this side over here, and then these ones are going to actually create a nice little pad over here. So that's pretty much what we have just on this side of the tree. Alright folks, so that's the end of this video. Like I said, we try to use what we have, and we should respect that when it comes to every single individual. I hope you folks like the designs for these little trees, and once they wake up in the spring, I'm actually going to be posting a few pictures on the bonsai page on Facebook. So if you're interested and want to join us, go ahead. I'm going to be providing a link below. Alright, so if you want to see who's been behind the scene the whole entire time, it's this guy right here. I'm not sure if you've seen it in my previous videos. He was actually quite smaller before. Yeah. So this is the one who's been messing with my tripod. Hun Noodle. Alright, so guys, if you guys want to make this video a little bit more fun, go ahead and comment down below what is actually the strangest things you have used for your trees when it comes to materials, pots, tools, and we'll talk about that. See you guys next time.